Brian Langan is joining us today, and he has a new song out called "The Sight I Seek." And Brian, the song features your roommates and some other friends. So, how did this? I guess first part, like, tell me about the writing of the song and what you were trying to express, and then putting it actually together with these guys.
Okay, this song I kind of started a couple of years ago. I've been doing a lot of like that lately, just going back to songs I started and then just kind of finishing them because now I have time to do it. It's another song I have like 3 of these about like not writing songs and doing stuff. But I've been doing a lot lately, and it just made sense. Like the people that are on the song and in the video are like the ones I usually are in my band. And obviously I live with 2 of them. So that part was easy, but yeah, we all did it remotely. And came out great. My buddy RJ mixed it and did a great job with that.
Is recording remotely, like, what are some of the challenges of that? Like, does everyone have to play to a click or something? Or like, how do you make sure everything locks up?
Yeah, I mean, I prefer to do it that way, play to a click. I personally like it. I guess some of the challenge is like, if you're like, everybody has different schedules. So if you're like waiting on a certain thing, like there's days I have, everyone's time is different. So I'll have like all day long to record, but someone didn't give me the, whatever take. But I like it because I could just do it myself and not have like, feel like I'm wasting someone else's time if I'm like messing up the take a million times.
Right.
But I'm into it. It's a nice like surprise. Like you don't know exactly what someone's going to send you. So the surprise element's nice.
Yeah. So, so your roommates are Pat Finnerty and Justin Mazer, who are on it. And Mike Quinn's on it too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who else?
Lifelong friend, Mike Quinn.
Lifelong. Who else? Anybody else?
Claire, who used to be in Swims with me, is drumming.
Right.
And Zach, who was in Dr. Dog, is my next door neighbor on keys.
Yeah.
That's the gang.
Yeah. So it was released, it's through Gold Star Recordings. So what's their deal? Tell us about Gold Star.
Good question. What is their deal? No, it's 2 dudes. This guy, Jason Brewer, who I've been friends with for like 20 years now, who's in this band Explorers Club that I've played with a million times and sometimes play in. The first band I met on MySpace, actually. It's him and his friend from Australia, and it's fairly new. So like right now it's just Explorers Club, me. The singer from Superdrag has stuff like Lisa Memory, he goes by. So it's like fairly new, but it's been going great. It's nice to have someone like giving me direction or like, barking orders at me. I need that.
Yeah.
Now I'll just like play video games and watch TV all day.
Yeah, right. So like, was there like a deadline? Did you have to have this to them by like a certain day? Was there like a release schedule, or was it a little more loose than that?
It was a little more loose, but like they'll be on me to be like, hey, we need a teaser out next week. We're gonna release. Here's the release day. We need to do a teaser and then a commercial or whatever, and have a video. So that's good for me because when things get vague for me, it's like, well, I don't need to do this today, or that I end up putting last minute. So
yeah,
it's good to have management, I guess.
Yeah. So there's you said there's some other songs. So are these all kind of standalone singles, or are they related? Is there some other larger thing coming?
Yeah, right now they're just a couple singles, but the plan is I have a bunch of songs. I have like 4 or 5 more songs started. Plan is to finish those, and I'm writing a couple more, and then do a full length once all that's done. So those songs will be on the full length is the plan.
Okay. And
right now that could change.
So you mentioned, working on other stuff, different art, art stuff, like visual art. And what is the Brian Langan Membership Guild, and how can people sign up for that?
Good question. Good question, Lolo. That is my Patreon I started last week. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it's like, I know I follow a couple artists. You give them money, which is nice. So for me, it's like $5 a month, and I'll send you a drawing once a week that only you can see, unless you show it to your friends, obviously. Then it's like $10. You get the drawing and the comic. There's like different tiers to it. Like $50, you'll get a commission. So it's a good way to keep busy, and it's like nice having exclusive content. The word exclusive content is very important in the Patreon world, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's fun. It's like good to interact with fans, followers, friends.
So a lot of your, art is like, I don't know if you call it a series, but there's like a consistent theme. Like the Coach the coach character you had.
Yeah.
And it's fun to follow that on Instagram because it pops up and it's like, oh, this reminds you of something I saw yesterday and whatnot. That character in particular, I don't know if he's still part of your world.
Oh yeah, coach is around.
Okay, so where
I like the idea of describing art as it looks like something I saw yesterday. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, from you though, but like, it's like it's not out of there's context to it. It's not just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So that character in particular, where did that idea come from, Coach?
Just like Mad Dad Coach guy, we all know him. And if you join the Patreon, there's a good chance you'll get some exclusive Coach content.
Get to meet him, maybe.
Yeah. Just angry dad Coach guy, stupid, mad, simple man.
Signed pair of Oakleys for like a gold contributor, an angel member.
Yeah. You get the Oakley's guy will definitely. He's already made a appearance in the Patreon. So that's what I've been. That's the newest thing art wise is that. Do you want to ask me about my leather scented print? That's up for pre-order.
I don't know if you can read backwards. It says
leather scented print.
Leather scented says piece of art. It says so. Great. Yeah, that was actually next on the rundown here. And
cool. I have a rundown. That's great.
Oh yeah, it's great. Written in paper mate right here. So yeah, I was actually going to ask about the leather scented piece of art. So yeah, what's up with that?
That's doing that through this company Laundromat my friend runs. They make like really cool prints. If you've seen I wear it a lot. I wear it a lot on the internet. My Meltdown 2020 hat. They made that. They wanted to just do something different than just like a regular like art print. Like they did a run of whoopee cushions recently, which I'm pretty jealous. I didn't do that first. But I want to do scratch and sniff, but somehow I think it's a dead technology or dead science, whatever the word would be. So this one's just see and sniff. It smells like leather, and they're for pre-order. And Lelo, you're not going to believe this, but the link is in my bio.
Wow.
Check that. Yeah. I put the link in the bio. Yeah. I just figured I'd put the link in the bio.
Yeah. Link
go to my profile.
Is that through Linktree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Linktree. Yeah. That's new.
No one's commenting on my.
It's good. Yeah. Thanks. No one's really commented on my new Linktree Pro. I got the Pro. I got $6.
Oh, the Pro? $6 a month.
So if you're like.
Yeah. You're going to have to up your Patreon then.
I was going to say, well, yeah, that's basically. Yeah, the Patreon is just going to cover my subscription costs. My Bizarre art app, it's going to cover Linktree Pro, and eventually I'd like to be able to cover like Spotify, some of the frivolous expenses.
Right. Yeah.
You're getting art, and I'm getting Linktree. Basically.
Right. I think a fair trade. I
don't think it's bad at all. Yeah.
You mentioned Zach from Dr. Dog as your neighbor, and I know he's on the song, and I know he's popped up in some of Pat Finnerty's stuff too. So kind of what's your connection with Dr. Dog, or is it more like with the individual members? Because I know you've worked with Scott McMahon as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, how does that work?
Those guys somehow like they were when Swims were around, we'd always like get asked to play with them like in early 2000s, and it just never worked out. So I didn't know them for a while. And then I met Scott at a party after a Needlepoint show, and he wanted to produce the album. So then I became tight with him. Then he was our roommate for like a year, but he was just never here. And yeah, Zach lives next door. So I'm like super tight with those two. The rest of the guys are all great. I just don't know them that well.
Yeah.
But Scott's one of my good friends. And he produced Needlepoints, and he just put out, and he's doing this tape label with his wife. It's really great. Press On Records. And we did a Halloween tape. He's doing like this vibe series where it's like half hour of instrumental music, but like, shit you could have on the background, so I did a Halloween one with him. So we're good pals. Wonderful guy. Both of those guys. That's Zach and Scott.
Yeah.
Parents did a good job with those two.
Does Scott still live in the Philly area?
No, he's in Tucson.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah. So when did you move to Philly?
Almost, I think it'll be 10 years in next November.
Yeah. 10 years. Jesus.
Long time. Yeah.
Wow. So
I didn't even have a beard then. I couldn't grow a beard then. I didn't smoke cigarettes. I don't anymore, but
yeah. 10 years.
Times.
10 years is a long time.
Look at all this. I have white beard. I have a white beard now.
I got you there, but I also got a couple of years on you.
That's nice, but I just got these. I mean, just here, like have it here. I want white mustache. Anyway, yeah.
You could probably transfer. You could probably transfer it from one
like
spot
a skin graft, only a hair graft.
Hair graft from yourself. You could probably.
Yeah.
There's probably technology for that.
Gotta be. I don't know. Like you can't get scratch and sniff anymore. So
well, if make it, if there's something that in the world you don't want, be the change in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever,
that's true.
Whatever it is, the saying.
Be the scratch, be the sniff. But yeah, almost 10 years.
So what, thinking back, leaving Scranton, what was the reason for you to make that move?
I think like I tried moving to Philly years before that, but like a couple things kept me in the area. But it's just like, I love Scranton, always will. I was just like, I need something a little new. And I have so many friends in Philly from playing there through the years. And it's just like, try something different. I never lived anywhere else. And it just made sense. It's like, it's so super close. And to me, like Philly is just like a giant Scranton anyway, So I like it.
So how, what doors did it open for you, as an artist, both with your visual art and as a musician? Obviously it's a much bigger market. There's more people to play to, more people to play with. But what is that? What was that? Well, let me back up and say, what was the initial, adjustment period or whatever it was like when you first got there and you were starting to play and, meet new people and stuff?
Yeah, there was, I basically just partied a real lot. I was laid off from my job. It like all kind of like worked. I just went out a lot. Like I knew my friend Eddie Gita was working at the Barbary. So I would just go to like visit him, and just through that met so many people. Basically just partied my ass off for like a year, just like meeting people and going to bars and stuff. And that was just like exciting. It's a bigger place, so there's just more people, and it kind of grew from there. And it's easier to like, someone would be like, hey, like I want you on this track or whatever. It's easy when I'm like, I couldn't always drive from Scranton to do these things. And it's just, I think even if it's not new people I've met, it's just easier for them to reach out to me or vice versa, because we're all here,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Not like, I don't mean this in any kind of like
here arrogant, we go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The tough ones. I don't mean this in any kind of arrogant way, but sometimes people in a town like Scranton, they've been there their whole life, and
sure,
there's kind of maybe like a ceiling to how much you could
right.
do. Like if you're in a band, you're probably, well, I mean, I was going to say you're probably not going to play montage, but because of Susquehanna Breakdown, actually a lot of people did.
Right.
But if you're probably not going to make it to Montage or the Arena. They're not really local venues. They're national, like chains, whatever.
Right.
So once you get to a certain level or a certain point where you've played with X amount of people, and it seems like there's maybe, well, what else can I do here?
Yeah. Oh,
especially
totally.
If you're good at it. And then sometimes people challenge themselves and like, all right, I'm going to throw myself in the bigger pond or whatever. Was there, any of that element?
Totally. Like, yeah, 100%, and not like, yeah, there's only so much I felt. I mean, maybe it's not the case, but I felt like there's only so much I could do in the area. I think any small city is going to have that. And, it was nice to go to a bigger place. There's more options. But yeah, that exactly, like you said, it needed to expand.
Also, I mean, it seemed at the time that things in Scranton were maybe, I don't want to say declining or anything, but just from the circle of people I kind of knew from going to the Bog and people that it seemed like it was like almost a big, maybe this was after you left, but like it seemed like there was a turnover where like I knew if I went into the Bog on a Wednesday night, yeah. I didn't like text anybody and say, hey, are you going to be there or whatever.
Right.
Because I knew like there was going to be 2 to 10 people that I could have a conversation with. Then it got to the point where like, I don't know who these people are. Maybe they're college kids. Maybe I'm old. Probably both.
Yeah.
And I would like text like Kreger and be like, hey, are you working tonight? Or whatever. And if he wasn't, I just wouldn't go. Because like,
I think that's a big part of, everybody got old.
Yeah. So, I mean, it feels like maybe there's less to leave behind when you're, it wasn't like, oh my God, there's, I don't know. That's kind of the way.
It did feel like a little that. I mean, it seems like things are a little different now, but again, like I haven't lived there in a while. So when I go back, I usually, visit my family and a few, close friends there. But definitely like, I'd walk in the Bog. I'm like, oh, I'll run into everybody. It'll be great. Right. Like, and I'm like, I'm old. Everyone's 21. They don't know who I am, man.
Right.
Like, like I didn't like, like you said, like you usually run into a million people, but, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't really speak for like the music or art stuff. It seems like there's a lot going on now. It seems like people are.
It seems like it's, everything goes in cycles, but I think there's a lot of like it makes me feel old, but there's bands now that were like influenced by you know, OK Patty and the Swims and stuff like that. There, you know, I interviewed some band and like, oh, we used to listen to Tigers Jaw in high school. And I'm like, whoa, like to me, the Tigers Jaw guys,
they're still in
they're the
high
high school
yes.
kids. But Ben just turned 30. So it's like,
right. Great guy.
You know, yeah, I was awesome. And he has that donut place too. I want to try.
Wonderful donuts. He brought me a wonderful birthday gift. He brought me a dozen donuts from there. Fantastic.
Oh, man. Yeah, I got to try those next time I'm down there.
Yeah, real good.
So, like, what are some things you do miss about Scranton? Whether it's just, you know, as a person or an artist, performer, etc.
I miss mostly food stuff. I miss Maroni's. Miss Chicanos. I miss my family. I miss like, you know, because most of my friends that I have in Scranton, I've been friends with almost all my life, you know. I miss like being able to like go to like a Target and not have like 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
Or like go to a Walmart at like 3 a.m. and it's not like war zone.
Yeah. Parking too is a lot easier.
Parking. Yeah. I don't drive anymore, but yeah, that was the one thing that was great. I remember like when I was driving, like going back to Scranton and being like, I can get a spot right in front of where I'm going. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss, you know, the nature-y part of it is cool. Like I'm in West Philly, we have trees and it seems like very exciting.
Yeah.
To have trees.
Yeah. And I mean, do you find you appreciate that? Like, I mean, growing up in Northeast PA, I didn't think like, well, I really appreciate trees, you know, or
right,
like a front porch. But like my first apartment in New York, when I stepped outside, there was no like porch, there was not a stoop. You were just on the sidewalk. And when I opened the door, I'd have to look both ways first because there's people walking and I could have walked over. And it's just like, man, I miss like my mom's back porch and looking at squirrels and stuff, you know, it's like,
it's like, I know too, like when, you know, this is the only city I've ever lived in other than Scranton, but like people like, would get excited, like, oh shit, like, whoa, squirrel. I'm like, all right, squirrel. Yeah. But now being here like 10 years, I'm like, oh, sick, squirrel.
Right. Exactly. But
yeah, I definitely miss that. And it's not something, like you said, like I didn't really think about until you're not around it a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
So, you know, you mentioned like when Scott lived there, he was never there. And, you know, Pat was touring a lot with Son Little and Mazer and all of his 150,000 bands. So is it now like everyone's home all the time and you guys are driving each other crazy, or how does that work?
We're going to kill each other. No, we're getting along really well, actually. It's like, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, it is like, that was the beauty of it. Like we have like 4 people in the house, but at any given time, at least 2 of them are gone, you know. But we kind of like figured out our schedules. You know, I know when Mazer's cooking dinner, so I'm not going to go down there and try to cook dinner. But we're doing okay. We didn't kill each other yet, but it is tough. Like, you know, like me and my girlfriend share a room, so there's really no, other than one of us is at work. Like, there's no like guaranteed alone time.
Yeah.
Whereas before there always was like half the house is gone. But yeah, we're getting along. We're doing it.
Who's the best?
They didn't kill me yet.
Right. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Who's the best cook in the house?
Come on, me.
Yeah.
Joe's really good. I'm pretty good. I'd say I'm pretty good. I think it might be a tie between me and my girlfriend.
So what's your signature dish?
I make a nice breakfast. Make a nice omelet.
I
could do a nice omelet, nice scramble, good home fries.
That's good. That's useful.
I've been air frying the shit out of everything lately.
Oh, really?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, doing a lot of that. Mashed potatoes I'm good at. I'm known for.
Known, yeah. You should put some of them on the guild, on the membership.
Yeah. That's like the $300 membership. You get some like, frozen mashed potatoes.
Personalized mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. It might work. What are some of the, you know, since you've been there, some of your favorite, you know, shows you've played that, you know, or things you've gotten to do?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I had a lot of fun. We played Firefly with Needle Points. That was a hoot. Drank a lot of Red Bull that day. We were sponsored by Red Bull. They gave us a lot of Red Bull. That was fun. I mean, there's like so many good shows at Johnny Brenda's that are great. I've always loved playing there. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been playing much of my own stuff. Like I might play like once, twice a year. Obviously this year I didn't play at all. But even just like the stuff Pat was been doing on our porch and our roof, like singing, doing those things, singing on the roof, those are a blast.
Did you, I mean, that really took off. I mean,
yeah.
You know, did you see that So what was it like experiencing that? Were there more people? I mean, I know COVID, there's not a lot of people doing anything, but was there
Right.
kind of more people coming out, more people talking about it and stuff? Like,
Totally. It's like funny, like, you know, it's Pat's thing, but even just from me doing it a bit with them, I'll walk around the neighborhood and they'll be like, yo, when's the next Roof concert? I'm like, what? I remember Pat saying he's going to do it. I'm like, how the hell are you going to do that? Like on a roof? You're going to kill yourself. You know, I worry. I have siblings, you know? But yeah, it went great. Like, you know, I know did really well on the internet. And then the next thing I think he promoted just like the day of, like, hey, we're doing this today. And so many people like showed up and stood in the street, and it was fun. Like the neighbors were cool with it. You know, our landlord is our next door. Like our landlord shares the house with us, like it's duplex. He's super cool. Like him and his wife are really cool with us doing it. They love it. Yeah, that was fun. Those were definitely some more memorable things. Pat does live band karaoke. Well, did at Fergie's when they were open. Those are always fun things to look forward to every Friday.
I mean, if things opened up like right now, like if things magically went back to, you know, normal, and there was no more social distancing, no more masks, everything was open, where would be the first place you would go?
Chicanos.
Yeah,
I'd go right to Scranton and go to Chicanos. Definitely go to Chicanos and Maroni's, which I see they're selling, which I'm terrified. I don't want to know what's going on there.
Do
you mean in general or in Philly? Because I would definitely, go home and visit my family.
Yeah.
Definitely go home and visit my family, get some Scranton food. Because I've seen my family like twice through all this. Like obviously it was easier to do things outside. Am I gone? Where am I?
I think you're coming back.
I'm coming back. Oh, cheapers. What happened? There I am.
There you go.
Yeah, I would definitely go visit the family, get a bunch of Scranton food.
What about in Philly? What would you do there?
I'd probably go drink a million beers with some pals. There's just like so many friends I haven't seen. Yeah. You know, we're pretty holed up here for the most part. But we'd like some like neighborhood friends would come like hang on the porch, but obviously it's freezing out.
Yeah.
I might go to Tamalex, probably my favorite restaurant in Philly. Get some Mexican there.
One thing I forgot about until just now is the work you're doing with the guy from The Darkness. His name, I can't
Justin.
place it. Yeah, Justin.
Wonderful fellow.
Yeah. So
he's the best.
You know him a long time, right? You did artwork going back like when you were still in Scranton, right?
Yeah, I was doing right when I was. Yeah, I think I was still. I don't think I moved yet. I did the set design for their one video. Nothing's Gonna Stop Us. My friend Tom Lessner from Sweatheart, which I was playing with at the time, he did the art for that music video. That's how we became friends. But yeah, Justin and I have been doing. He has a Patreon that one of the perks is like a video podcasts. He's a several of them. I'm the one that does it with him once a month. It's a blast. He's hilarious. He's a really nice, hilarious man. We just talk about everything.
What is he?
People come in.
He was in Scranton at one point, right? Wasn't there like a night at the dog or something?
I think The Darkness played maybe the Cultural Center. I wasn't around for that, but yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it was Montage. I don't know. I forget.
Yeah.
They played Scranton.
So what's kind of the theme of the podcast, or is there one?
It's called Is That a Strat? We have strats. We play them a little bit. We usually make up games. Last week we did Tell and Explain, because I think on Justin's end, he can see all the people, like his Patreon folks. I can't.
Yeah.
So we were going to do show and tell. We just did Tell and Explain, and we went around and people just talked about items they had. That was really fun. That lasted like 2 hours. We'll just do makeup games. We were like writing a song the one day. We did that too. There's no main theme. We do a lot of like pinch harmonics and terrible guitar riffs. That's part of it. But yeah, it's just like we take questions, we ask questions. And it's like my monthly catch up with Justin too. So a lot of it is like me and Justin catching up and people watching.
Yeah. So when you go into a different, I don't want to say maybe medium or whatever, when I'm going to do set design now, I'm going to do, this type of thing. Do you kind of just jump into it, or do you like do some research or try to talk to some people that have done it? Or
yeah, I do a little of that. I just like assume I could do it for the most part, and it usually works. But yeah, I'll talk to people who've done it or ask advice. Like I have no problem hitting up, I have so many friends who are artists and things. I have no problem being like, what the hell am I doing? Please help.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's always nice to try new things. And sometimes, I try it and I'm like, that was impossible. I can't do that. or I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't even get to that first step of trying, but you said you assumed you could do it. And that's like, you know, a level of confidence a lot of people don't have. Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I think I'm like, I don't think there's like one thing I'm super good at. I think I'm like, I could get the gist of most things except for like roller skating and ice skating, things like that. I'm bad with my feet, like soccer, terrible. I don't know. It's just fun for me to try new stuff. And it's like, it's harder as I get older because I'll be like, I can't do that. I don't do that. And then I'm a little baby about it. And then I'll try it and I'll be like, oh, that was fun. But some things I think just like that set design thing, my friend Tom, like, you know, you see my room, there's like so much shit in it. He's just like, I need you to make this room look like it's Darkness super fan. So basically just like decorate it how I would as a teenager, all darkness shit. So that was like, you know, I had no experience. He's just like, you'd be good at this because I have a lot of shit in my walls.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff, Lolo.
So, like growing up, did you, you know, between family and school and all that, did you feel like encouraged to take on different projects and be an artist? I know in some, you know, some families it's like, oh, you'll never make a living doing that. Or
right.
Even some schools are pretty, you know, square about the whole thing, you know?
Yeah,
I get the sense it wasn't like that.
No, not at all. My parents were great. They were always super supportive. You know, I'm sure they wish I made more money always as a musician and artist. But yeah, they've been nothing but great. They were never like, you know, I wanted to be a basketball player. They supported that, which is amazing. They could have easily said, son, you're 5'7", you're overweight, and you're not that good at basketball. But they didn't. Yeah, basketball didn't work out, Lolo. Sorry. Yeah, they've been great. And I like, you know, my high school teacher, Nancy Yeaman, I don't know if you know her, she's the best. She was always really good. And, you know, I felt like even if it wasn't like, you're going to be an artist someday, it was just like, oh, you're, you know, she made me feel like I was good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, just to feel someone that knows.
Yeah, especially because I definitely wasn't good at it back then. I don't even know if I am now, but she made me feel like, oh, cool, like I'm good at this.
So she
was like super important.
So did you and Pat and Connor McGuigan and Pat and Mike Quinn, were you all like in the same grade? Or
I was in the same grade with Mike. Pat was a year ahead of me, and I think Connor was two or 3 years ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't really know Connor in high school. Like he was a senior, I think, when I was a freshman.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I was like, "Whoa, this is this cool guy! Like all these chicks, like this guy's cool." Yeah, I didn't really become friends with him until like early 2000s, like going to the
So, I mean, would you call it like kind of a bit of an artsy high school at that, you know, when you were there?
I guess. I mean, it didn't seem like one, but like looking back, I'm like, you know, maybe I take it for granted because, you know, those are some super creative people. But everybody, like, you know, I meets me, and then like Pat, and, you know, they're like, holy shit, like Scranton, like, has so much talent there. But it didn't, like, at the time, it didn't seem like, you know, there was only like 2 or 3 bands, and I was in one of them in high school. It wouldn't seem like there was this big thing, you know?
Yeah. And then
looking back now, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of super talented people.
And a lot of them, I mean, a lot of, you know, a lot of times you're around talented people and they just go into something else. They just, you know, they get married, they have kids, they become an accountant or whatever. But I mean, there was a lot of talent in the Scranton area, but a lot of the people stayed with it. And
definitely.
I mean, do you think there's any common thread? There's a reason, you know, that you look at the bands everyone talks about, like, Tiger's Jaw and the Menzingers, and, you know, these bands kind of came up through there wasn't a lot of places to play really. It's not like it was Seattle or something. So why do you think it was a bit of like, I don't want to say a minor league feeder system, but a lot of these people ended up in Philly, you know, and do you think there was any common thread or?
No, I mean, it definitely, you know, I'm old enough so there kind of was places to play. So, but like bands like those guys, like, yeah, there wasn't shit. So you definitely had to go other places. And I think it's even like, you know, bands I was in, it was like, we were like, Facebook was kind of like towards the end, like that generation. So it was, I think for younger bands, it's way easier to like contact people and find people. But I know, growing up, it was like, if you heard of any place and then like, you know, tri-state area that does shows, like you sought it out and you found out who to talk to. And I think just Scranton being like a small city in general, it's like, it's not like, you know, I think some people don't realize how much it is a city. Like I've played so many small shitty places in Pennsylvania, and it's like Scranton's pretty baller compared to like that. So I think it has more of a city feel than, I don't know, a lot of people would assume.
I think there's a lot of people too that want cool things to do, and they don't just want like the mainstream thing. You know what I mean? Like, even though like it's middle America and it's in many ways very typical of any town, you know, small town USA, but like there's certain things that would happen that I thought were like kind of not small town things, you know, like different art exhibit, like stuff at the AFA, like, and even when Test Pattern was going, and the bands that would come through town, bands that would come and play the Bog before they were like the next whatever, you know. I mean, I don't know. I'd always, especially when I started going to the Bog, you meet this person as an artist, this person as a sound guy, whatever. And it was just like, oh, there is a lot of talent around here. Like,
a lot of people, like, you know, I've talked to so many people I've met even here, like, talk about Scranton, how great it is. And it's like, maybe at the time I didn't realize how awesome it is. But then, like, the more I've traveled and played other small cities, it's like they got nothing on NEPA, Scranton, you know?
Yeah. Well, when you were like getting started with the swims and bands like that, did you, there was a whole other like track of bands or whatever that was like kind of playing whistles and like the kind of the hard rock, you know, whatever you want to call it. Was there any kind of like tension or like bullshit between the groups or anything? Or
not at all. I mean, like there was so like all those other bands, like bar bands, like it was just a totally different world. So other than like if we would do like a concert for a cause or something, there was never like any crossover. Nothing ever happened. I wish it'd be kind of funny if there was like some dirtbag scumbag rock band that like called us wimps or something, which they should have, but they didn't.
I mean, there's
we all got along, unfortunately. Yeah,
it'd be funny if
you can still call me a wimp.
It'd be funny, like I was thinking, it'd be funny if like someone just started beef like on the internet now with a band that doesn't even exist anymore. Like just calling someone out that's not even in music anymore, like just to see what would happen.
Yeah, you got the blog.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to host. You know, if you want to put two people on and they could yell at each other, and you know, I'll be all for that.
Hey, Grace's downfall. You're a bunch of dirtbags.
There you go.
No, they're actually nice folks, nice people.
Yeah, the first,
very nice.
Yeah, but you still said it. The first, you know, shoe has been dropped. I was wondering if
come on, Ken, bring it, Norton.
I wonder if any of the Three Doors Down guys were gonna go after Finnerty. They seem like the type of band that
I hope so.
Would.
I hope so, but they're also millionaires, so they probably couldn't care less.
Or like
it seems like Nickelback knows how to take the joke. I don't think Three Doors Down would take the joke.
I mean, yeah, I'm impressed with the way Nickelback's been able to handle this. I mean,
it's easy when you have millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, when you're loaded with money, it's, you know, probably
laughing all the way to the bank, bud.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see some of those like having a lawyer or someone contact and say, take that down, cease and desist or whatever, you know. But
I could see it. We'll see.
But I mean, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed watching that one.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
At one point, I'm watching a 45-minute like tutorial on how to play a song. I'm not a musician. I don't know really what he's talking about with these chords and things, but I'm still enjoying it. And like, that's that.
Yeah, it's great. He did a great job of that. And I hope he does a lot more. One thing I do want to talk about before I forget, and it's exciting. I don't know if you saw, I posted today. It's launch teaser. It's launch teaser Monday. It's
on my list, and it's on my old unedited.
Yeah, because I got to bring in groceries soon.
Yeah, that's good.
But I definitely want to talk about that.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
What were you going to ask?
No, I was right before, like earlier today, you posted Langan, Frost, and I can't read my writing.
Wayne.
Yeah. What is Langan, Frost, and Wayne?
Great question. This is like, I'm like so excited for this project, and it's been something I've been working on with those two guys for the last like 4 years. Basically, it's my friend RJ. He mixed the last song I did. He's a good buddy of mine. We're talking about how much we love Donovan and like just that like late 60s folky, kind of trippy, pretty also pop fantasy world that like there's not too much in it. So we're like, we should write songs like that. And I think we did it really, really well. And to me, it's like, it's super exciting because it's the most collaborative thing I've done, because it was like, I'm writing a song with an intent that's going to be about like, you know, big surprise, castles and wizards and stuff, but it's kind of going to have that feel. Whereas like Swims, I'll just write a pop song and sing about wizards. So, and I'm also like singing low in this song and like finger picking and stuff. So it's like it's a departure, dare I say. Not quite a reinvention. I'm not Madonna, but it's a departure. and it was super collaborative. So I was doing that with RJ for a couple of years, and then we got his buddy Nam Wayne, great guy, in because he has a really like awesome 70s voice. So there's like 3 singers. I sing most of the songs, but there's 3 of us on it, and it's like folky, poppy, but like fantasy. There's all like weird instruments on it. Some instruments I've never even heard of.
Oh wow!
That I can't pronounce, but it's like super fun, and we're like, it's probably the one thing I've done where there's nothing I look back on and I'm like, ugh, wish I didn't do that. But we started the campaign today.
So who are the other 2 guys?
RJ Gilligan, wonderful man. That's Frost. And Nam Wayne is Wayne. They're all other Philly folks. I've known RJ for pretty much since I've lived here. When I met RJ, he wasn't wearing a shirt. He wears shirts now.
Wow.
But yeah, they're good. They're good pals of mine. And RJ records all of it, and he's an amazing engineer.
So what's going to be coming out?
That we're doing that with Gold Star. We're doing our first single, I believe, in the middle of March. I want to say the 16th. That's not solid yet, but we just launched a teaser today. We're gonna tease it because we don't have like much. We have like all these songs, but we don't have like band pictures or anything because we've been quarantined for the last year. Yeah. So we're gonna do some teasers, some video stuff. But yeah, the first single is mid-March, and then I think we're trying to have the full album out in June-ish, so early summer. I'm really excited about it. It's like I said, it's something totally different than what I would normally do.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I had a bunch of questions that weren't in order, and then when I put them in order, that one fell away. So I'll let you go. But real quick, what's in your bag? As in the groceries? Anything interesting?
I don't know. Joe ordered a bunch of groceries she works with kids. She's in a pod, and she like buys like snacks or like things for them to make. So she's not home yet, and I was told I would pick up the groceries. Oh wow! So probably I'm going to assume there's marshmallows involved. Marshmallows is a pretty crafty snack, I would assume. Yeah. I'm going to assume marshmallows, maybe some Skittles. Could be macaroni. She could be doing macaroni drawing. Yeah. But yeah, right. I want to bring the groceries in before someone snags them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Anything else you want to mention, or do you think we did a pretty good?
Beard looks great.
Oh, Michael. Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
You're in New York still?
Still there. Oh, quick plug on this. This is Pappy made this.
Love Pappy.
Elks. There's elk on there. I don't know if elks is the plural. Elk, I think is the plural.
That's a really nice one.
I really liked it on Instagram, and then I ordered it. He's doing really cool. I mean, he's doing a lot of visual art.
Yeah, I saw that. He sent me some stuff. He's great.
Studio. Yeah, it's really cool what he's doing there. So
Pappy rules. This is an Ernest Scared Stupid shirt.
Oh, nice.
Cavity Colors, I believe, was the company. It was.
Wow.
Proceeds went to Black Lives Matter. It was nice. That's what I'm wearing. Great talking to you, man.
You too.
Anything else you need from me before I go grab the groceries?
No, I don't think so. Just stay in touch. Let me know what else you're working on and all these different projects you're teasing. Let me know as they.
Yeah, I'm staying busy. The goal is to not have to go back to a real job.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah, and let me know what you think of my link tree.
You got to feed it and water it. That's the one thing I've learned.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or otherwise, it just languishes. You have to, and talk to it. You're supposed to talk to, and Langan, languish. You could probably do something with that.
I'm gonna let you. We're gonna end this on languish because that's a really good word. I can't top that.
Okay, sounds good. Languish. Take it easy.
I'm out of here.
All right,
see you, buddy.
See ya. All right,
Thanks, man.
bye.
Love you.
Thank you. Take it easy.